Welcome into Birds of the Roundtable. We are excited to come to you this week because we finally get to talk about a game that actually matters. That's right, we're going to be breaking down all the matchups that you need to watch in the Week 1 matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. I'm joined tonight, as always, by Dives, the godfather of the Painted Lions, I like to call him. Dives, how are you doing this evening?
Doing great. I'm doing great. It is officially Eagles week. Eagles versus Lions on Sunday. How can you not be jacked up right now? We are breaking down everything in between about this game. I promise you, you probably won't leave this show without knowing everything. So it's going to be a fun show. I have so much to talk about. One of my favorite nights of the week.
And I guess I do have to acknowledge now publicly that you are the best co-host on this show because Ryan bailed out. He's gone. And so Dives gets the crown of best co-host that he and Ryan have been fighting over until Dives misses a show. And then I guess he can swing back to Ryan. So,
man.
But we do have a special guest here with us tonight. We have Eric joining us here. Ryan recruited him to the show and then didn't show up. He threw him out here. So how are you doing tonight, Eric?
It's funny. Ryan and I have been doing podcasts for a little bit since about 2009. So, I think I can manage my own. This will be, I know I mentioned it on one of our other shows and on the draft that we did for fantasy football that this Sunday will be my 500th straight Eagles game that I've watched. So I think I'll pick up the slack where Ryan left off.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was you. Ryan had been talking about that. So
yeah,
500 straight Eagles games. That's insane. So a wealth of knowledge here on the show that we're going to tap into today. We got Scott messaging or chiming in on Facebook here. Says, "What's up, fellas? Excited to break down this game." And so we've got sort of a little bit different thing here. So I have run a Madden game, AI against AI, between the Eagles and the Lions. We're going to throw that up on the background. You guys can watch the Eagles play the Lions in Madden while we talk about the game, and we'll see if it all ends about the same time. I don't know. We've never done this before, but it should be fun. We did this for the last preseason game, but we were pretty much just commentating on the Madden game because who really cared about the third preseason game? So I'm going to throw this up.
That sounds like a good time anyway, just to talk about the Madden game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What we're going to also do is we're taking Eric, just get ready because everything you say tonight is final. So we're going to be taking data on all of this. And we're going to be on player of the games, score predictions, and Madden as well, and see how accurate this whole thing is.
Okay, that sounds like fun. I'm into it.
All right, so let's dive into it here as Jared Goff whiffs on his first pass of the game. So we're going to start off here asking what is the biggest storyline for the Eagles heading into Week 1? Eric, I'll throw that one to you first. What's your biggest as he goes black? Can you still hear us, Eric?
Oh, no. He gone.
Okay, Dives, I'm going to throw it to you while we see if we can get Eric back here. You got to love the timing on that one.
For me, it's got to be the Eagles offense versus the Lions defense. That's got to be the biggest advantage pointing to the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. You look at a recent ESPN rankings. They had the Lions interior defensive line ranked in 2022 29th best, their linebackers 32nd best, their cornerbacks 31st best, and their edge defenders 21st best, and safeties 26th best. You look at this high-powered Philadelphia Eagles offense. If the Eagles don't come out sluggish, if the Eagles, keep the penalties to a minimum, I don't see any way this Lions defense holds the Eagles under 30 points. That's how confident I am in this Eagles offense. Now it's Week 1. This does have some kind of revenge game for the Detroit Lions because the Eagles blew them out previously. So anything could happen. It's the NFL. But right now, it's got to be, can the Lions defense slow down this new look Eagles high tempo, more balanced offense?
Yeah, that's absolutely a key thing to watch here. The Eagles have made so many moves on offense. They've added A.J. Brown. I guess maybe they haven't made that many moves on offense, but they added A.J. Brown And there's an expectation that this offense is going to take a big step forward. And the Lions are an easy test case for that. The Eagles offense needs to come out. They need to start fast in this game. So Dibes' week 1 storyline is watching this offense put up 30 on the Lions. We've got Eric back. Eric, what's your biggest storyline for the Eagles going into this game?
Well, this has got to be, and I feel like this is going to be a theme throughout the year, the progression of Jalen Hurts. How does he work through his progressions? Mm-hmm. Like, can he win the game from the pocket? And I think that's going to be a big thing this Sunday.
Yeah,
all right.
I want to add a little bit on Jared Goff, because we've talked about Jalen Hurts 1,000 times this offseason, but a little bit about Jared Goff here, because not unlike Jalen Hurts or some other guys across the NFL, like this has to be the year of Jared Goff, because essentially it has to be. He's on the chopping block. He's in a contract year, I believe, after this season. He's got weapons. He's got a pretty strong offensive line in front of him. This has to be the best year due to those factors. He finished really strong last year. He had 11 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions the last 5 games. That was in large part here because of Dan Campbell taking over play calling duties for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff had a 107.1 passer rating in that 5-game stretch, completed 67+% of his passes. There's positives, but there's also negatives when it comes to Jared Goff. His average depth of target among all regular starting quarterbacks was just 6.8. I think that was dead last across the NFL. This guy clearly struggles to get the ball downfield. He was dead last in the NFL last year in average intended air yards per pass attempt, second worst in the NFL in completed air yards per pass attempt. So I don't see any of that changing, especially against the Eagles and how they have improved compared to last year. So Jared Goff is a storyline here. The Lions are going to try and get the ball out fast and hit you within the sticks. And I just don't see the Lions having that much luck against this Eagles defense.
Yeah, we've got comment coming in on YouTube here. Says all the national media seems to be high on the Eagles wagon going all the way, which is odd. It makes me a little nervous. But yeah, there's definitely, you guys both mentioned Jalen Hurts in the offense. I'm going to go the other way here, and I'm going to say the biggest storyline for the Eagles heading into week 1 is Jonathan Gannon. You look at this defense.
Good choice.
Talk about the weaknesses for the defense last year. They couldn't get edge pressure. They went out and they signed Hassan Reddick. They struggled against the run. They drafted Jordan Davis in the first round. Our linebackers were atrocious. They went out and they got Kazir White. They drafted Nakobe Dean. Our corner 2 spot was maybe an issue. They went out and they got James Bradbury. They went out and they traded for Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Every weakness on this defense has been addressed except the defensive coordinator. And I have major concerns about Jonathan Gannon. I had those concerns last year, and this game is a litmus test for Jonathan Gannon. Last year, Jonathan Gannon wanted to sit with 7 in coverage, soft coverage, rush 4, not get to the quarterback, and give up quick completions. Now, you could say that the personnel dictated he had to do that, and you're not wrong. But they have the personnel now. That excuse is gone, and they're facing a quarterback in Jared Goff, who is an efficient football player when they keep his jersey clean, but he crumbles under pressure. And so if the Eagles come into this game and they're rushing 4, they're not blitzing, they're not bringing sim pressures, they're just rush 4, drop 7. That tells me everything that I need to know about Jonathan Gannon. And so for me, I'm going to learn a lot about Jonathan Gannon in the first quarter of this game by what he dials up against Jared Goff. So that's the number one thing that I'm keeping an eye on headed into week 1.
Oh, fumble! Oh, they got it.
They got it back. TJ Edwards forcing a fumble on the Madden sim here, but the Lions pick it up as they are driving goal-to-go situation on their first.
Yeah, a little nervous about this start.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't see that. Madden's garbage anyways, right? It's not a simulation. Hopefully this isn't close.
Of course, if the Eagles end up winning this one in the Madden, then absolutely praise Madden.
Oh no. Is that Hawkinson?
And there it is. TJ Hawkinson scores the first touchdown of the game, of the season. against that Jonathan Gannon defense. So let's dive into our next question here. And Dibes, you mentioned this earlier, so I'll throw it to you first. Is this a revenge game for the Lions? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous are you about this game?
It depends on the day. I woke up this morning and I'm like, a little nervous. Gonna be a little nervous. It's the first week, man. Like there's upsets every week in the NFL, but in the first week, the Eagles offense hasn't played much throughout the preseason. They've looked pretty good for the most part during those joint practices when they did, but you never know. This is the NFL. I'll probably put myself at a 4.257. That means like 10 being like scared shitless, 0 being not scared. So I'm probably like more towards confident right now. I think the Eagles offense is just going to overwhelm this Lions team, especially with their skill positions. I don't see any way that AJ Brown, Devonte Smith, Dallas Goddard, those main 3 guys have huge games on Sunday. The Lions just don't have an answer, especially in that middle field for Dallas Goddard, who I predicted. We'll get to that later. But for me, I'll put a little bit like a 4.2.
All right, a 4.2. Eric, what about you? Where are you at in terms of how nervous you are about this game?
I'll tell you, I'm not nervous, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm overly confident either. My reason, I'll put my nervousness at around a 2, and I'll explain what I mean. Look, man, we're living in a world where last year I watched the Buffalo Bills lose a game to the Jaguars 9-7 last year, and Josh Allen and the Bills figured it out and we're just fine. So I think even if the Eagles do come out and lay an egg on Sunday, I still have plenty of confidence this team can turn it around. Like, because we saw them start slow. I mean, of course, they won the first game of the year last year, but then afterwards really get sluggish against San Francisco and in other games early on. So I'm not nervous if they come out to a slow start on Sunday.
Yeah, for me, weird things happen week 1.
Yeah.
Last year, of course, they blow out the Falcons in week 1, but 2020 they lost that game to the football team. I think they were the football team in 2020. I can't keep up with it anymore, and that was a game they never should have lost, and just weird stuff happened. That was like the game where Wentz took like 8 sacks or something, and it was the beginning of the end of an era. But there's nervous energy about week 1 because we haven't seen football in so long, and I'm just so ready for it. I'm not nervous about the Lions. So I would say I'm at like a 2 on that scale, but I fully like it's week 1 and crazy things happen in week 1. You see teams not playing starters in the preseason, and you see how that translates into a sloppy week 1 a lot of times. And so I would rather be playing a playoff opponent week 1 than a bad team, because a bad team doesn't have anything to lose. They probably played their starters in the preseason. It's not a big deal for them. But I would rather catch a good team week 1 than a bad team. So from that aspect, I don't think it's like college football where you schedule that cupcake week 1.
God.
If you had the choice. As Aiden Hutchinson picks up a sack on Jalen Hurts to force a 3rd and 16.
Like you said, Madden's trash. It's terrible.
Terrible. Terrible unless we win.
Right.
Is that a
all right. So let's move on to our next question here. And if you guys are watching, drop us some comments here. Let us know what you're looking forward to in the game. Let us know what you think of the Madden sim here. But I want to get your guys' take on this one. What are some of the top matchups that you need to watch between the Eagles and the Lions? Eric, I'll throw this one to you first.
I'm looking forward to the matchup, and I'm going to sound like a total nerd for line play, but I'm looking forward to like that starting defensive line, the tackle group against the Lions offensive line. I went into last year thinking the Lions might be pretty decent because I loved what they did on their offensive line in the previous draft. I love what I see even more of them now all put together and with a year of experience. I'm looking forward to the matchup of our defensive line versus their offensive line.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, especially now. Halapula Vaitai headed to IR today, and so that's a definite weakness for their interior defensive line, which is a place the Eagles should put a lot of stress between Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis. There should be a lot of pressure coming up the middle at Jared Goff, it should make running the ball pretty difficult for the Lions, you would think. So I hope we see that early.
Oh,
Jared Goff almost takes a safety.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
All right, Dibes, how about you? What is one of your big matchups here to watch between the Eagles and the Lions?
I really like Eric's. You look at Taylor Decker, you look at Penei Sewell, you look at Frank Ragnall. Like, that's truly one of the strengths of the Lions. Their offensive line is young, it's up and coming, especially Sewell. I'm really excited to watch him take that next step in 2022, especially in pass protection. That was an area that he wasn't. Oh my God! Come on, Birds, go! This is getting pathetic. I agree with this comment. Madden hates the Eagles. The matchup, yeah, Jared Goff is carving us up, man. The matchup I really am excited for, and Shane knows I'm a draft nerd, is I'm going my guy Jordan Mailata versus Aiden Hutchinson. That is going to be an awesome battle there. Jordan Mailata, pretty much the same, needs to take that next step. There's a yeah, let's go.
Nice, there we go.
Was that an interception or a fumble? I think
it was a fumble.
I missed it. Totally missed it. I was not looking at the screen. But yeah, anyway, Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute monster. The dude is relentless. His motor is off the charts. He's just a menace. I'm excited. And then Jordan Mailata has a chance this year, he has already, to cement himself as a top 3, top 5 left tackle in the NFL. And I think Jordan Mailata is definitely favored to win this matchup. What a tough test for Aiden Hutchinson out the jump. But that is going to be a lot of fun. I loved Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan. That's the battle for me. That's all I'll be watching.
Blue City Empire Sports says, I can already hear the Eagles fans in Madden complaining, fire everybody. But they wouldn't, because we just scored a defensive touchdown. Let's go. All right. I'm really interested to see Aiden Hutchinson. Like Dibe said, if you guys followed Chalk Talk, we're big draft people and had Hutchinson really highly. The matchup that I'm really excited to see, though, is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson against TJ Hawkinson.
Yes.
I think you're going to see him manned up on Hawkinson a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of quarters play from the Eagles, which is going to make him primarily responsible for slot receivers, or if he's on the tight end side, tight ends that release vertically up the field. And he's a perfect fit for that. That's what he's so good at, is being physical against vertical releases. And I think the Eagles, they have not had him very long. I think you're going to see him in a lot of man coverage, a lot of quarters. You're not going to see him dropping into a lot of zones. It's not something he's done much before. I think they're going to use him where he's most comfortable on such short time. And I think that translates to a lot of him matched up on TJ Hawkinson. And I can't wait to see all the trash talk. Maybe he can get TJ Hawkinson thrown out of the game. I don't know. We've seen him get under some guys' skin. He's kind of legendary in that regard. So I'm anxious to watch that battle play out. That's probably the number one thing that I'm looking forward to in that matchup.
The other one I want to throw out there is, I kind of already touched on it, but A.J. Brown and Devonte Smith against the Lions secondary. I don't see how the Lions match up with any of those guys on the outside, on the interior, down the field. That is a huge advantage. The Detroit Lions don't have any answers for those guys. That should be a mismatch waiting to happen. I expect Jalen Hurts to just pick apart the Lions secondary. I expect Jalen Hurts to get the ball out to Devonte Smith in the slot, get him moving, and just bang, 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 like just really take advantage of that mismatch. And I think another storyline or matchup I'm looking at is Jonathan Gannon versus Amon St. Brown. St. Brown is a dude kind of like that Deebo Samuel mold. The dude can play in the slot. The dude can play on the outside. He's not going to really take the top off of defense, but he can, play in the backfield. He can take direct snaps. When you look at, we got him. Let's go. Who was that?
Reddick's got 2 sacks now in our Madden sim.
Let's go. When you look at the Lions and how they're going to keep up with this Eagles offense, I expect the Lions to get pretty creative. Like, I expect them to kind of throw a lot a lot of the kitchen sink at the Eagles, especially early on. And I think that starts with Amon St. Brown and lining him up all over the field. So that's definitely a little matchup I'm going to be watching.
Yeah. All right. Then another. Well, I'll save this for another question. I'll use this as an answer for another question. But I do like that, and I think you could see. I think that's a place you could see Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as well as Monroe St. Brown when they bring him into the slot. I think you could see a lot of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on him. I don't know what that does with Devonte Maddox. I'm interested. I'm just really interested to see how that rotation works because I still don't believe that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is really just going to be a safety. I think they're going to use him in the slot quite a bit, and I want to see how that rotation works. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah, it could be in kind of the Malcolm Jenkins type role where he played safety in base defense, and when they went to nickel, a lot of times he stepped up and played slot coverage.
Yeah, but if they do that, I want to know like where does Devonte Maddox go because he's a guy you extended last year. So I'm just interested to see how they use all of that. There could be a lot of creativity there, but you can also be a little over creative. So. Got Jay Waters chiming in on Facebook. I expect Hurts to throw 2 picks. That would be a bad day if Hurts throws 2 picks against this defense. But speaking of their defense, which defensive players on the Lions are you guys most focused on? Give me a player on the defense that you're focused on. Eric, I'll let you lead it off here.
Yeah, I think we kind of alluded to it already, or at least Dave's did. Aiden Hutchinson. I'm looking forward to watching him. He was the 2nd overall pick. I think he's going to show you why. His matchup's going to be a tough matchup for him, and I think he'll have better days in this league than drawing Jordan Mailata week 1. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. But it's going to be a tough matchup. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him.
All right, Dibes. What about you? Who's a player on the defense that you're keeping an eye on for the Lions?
Like Eric said, it's obviously Aiden Hutchinson, but I don't really have it. Like Mike Hughes, Jeff Akuta. I'm gonna butcher this name. Here we go. Amani Uruwarrior. That's a really hard word to say. But anyway, it's the cornerbacks. Can those cornerbacks match up with the Eagles' skill position players? I don't think they can. In fact, I know they can't. Oh, nice catch. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Goddard. Nice. That's really after Hutchinson. That's really all I can think of. What about you, Shane?
Yeah, Jeffrey Akuta is a guy that I really want to keep an eye on. He was a top 5 draft pick a couple of years ago. He had a horrendous first season in the NFL. And then, last year, he didn't really get the chance to come off of that because he gets injured. I think it was in the first game of the year, actually. I know it was really early. So you had a guy that was a high draft pick, struggled as a rookie, and then he comes back and he got hurt in the first game and was done for the season. So this is really kind of his second season, although it's 3rd for the contract, as Jalen Hurts takes a huge sack there on a 3rd down.
Speaking of defense, like this Eagles offensive line has not had a good first half.
No. I will say, to the comment earlier about Madden hating the Eagles, the ratings are done by a Cowboys fan.
That's true.
I'll just say that the Eagles' offensive line is very poorly rated. Like Landon Dickerson's like a 71 overall. Isaac Seumalo is like a 70 overall. Now, I mean, Jordan Mailata is like an 84 overall, and obviously Kelsey and Lane are beasts, but I expect those ratings to start coming up in roster updates. Also, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is not on the roster yet, but I manually did that move. But they usually drop that roster update like the day of the first game. So anyways, but I want to see Jeffrey Akuta. He's a guy, I thought he was overdrafted, but I thought he was definitely a first-round talent in that draft. And I want to see him back, matched up against A.J. Brown, which is who I think they'll probably put him on, and just see that battle. So from a draft valuation standpoint, I'm interested to see him. It's the first look we'll have at him really in 2 years almost.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So we've got some more comments coming in here. We've got a good question. What is your guys' opinion about Jason Peters signing with the Cowboys? Dibes, any thoughts there?
Nope. I don't care. He'll always be an Eagles legend for me. Even when he was with the Eagles, he was projecting downward big time, really, really hard. So it is what it is. It does not impact me whatsoever regarding my opinion or thoughts on Jason Peters. Love that guy, man. He's an Eagles legend forever.
Eric, what about you? Any thoughts?
Yeah,
on
I'll
Jason
agree with
Peters
that
signing?
sentiment. It doesn't move my needle at all. As far as like Jason Peters, like I get it, man. You're trying to prolong your NFL career, and God bless, who am I to tell you you shouldn't go keep playing? And I mean, he's like this is his business. This is how he makes money. Like he's going where he's off. To me, it's more of a statement on how like the Cowboys are on desperate times.
Exactly.
They have injuries on that offensive line, and so they got to go get old Jason Peters to go play on the end. Maybe he'll play well. Probably won't. Like, I'm not. Doesn't bother me.
Yep.
Yeah, I understand the reaction from some Eagles fans, especially given the fact that, you know, the last time we saw him in Philly, he was coming off of an injury-prone season. They signed him to be a left guard, and then Dillard got hurt, and he held the team hostage for more money to play the position he wanted to play to begin with, and then promptly got hurt. Like, I understand the ire as the Eagles fumble here on our Madden simulation.
Oh my God.
I understand the ire. It does nothing to impact the legacy for me of Jason Peters. Like, it's phenomenal. 10 plus year career in Philadelphia. You know, I can't say I wish him all the best because he's with the Cowboys now. Do I think they're going to get good play out of him? Probably not. I mean, he actually played. He was a slightly above average, probably starter last year for the Bears, and he played, you know, with durability. He played the whole season. Is it likely he's going to do that again at age 40? Probably not. So I'm not concerned about it. I don't really care either way. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he gives up a big strip sack at Dak Prescott against the Eagles. And then he pulls an Orlando Scandrick and talks a bunch of trash about him and gets paid. That's what I hope happens. So as I was talking there on my little monologue, that fumble was overturned. So the Eagles have the ball back here before half. What's your opinion about former Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion wide receiver Marcus Johnson signing with the New York Giants? I'll echo my guy on YouTube here. Who?
I have no idea.
I remember the name, but that's it. So we talked defense here for the Lions. Let's talk about their offense now. Which offensive players do you guys have your focus on? Dives, I'll let you lead this one off.
Yeah, I'll let someone else get Hawkinson, but I'm really curious about DeAndre Swift. I'm excited to see what this kid's got. He's entering year 3. He's a dual threat back. He stated publicly that he wants to hit 1K in the air and on the ground this year, which is pretty crazy. I think only like 5 players in NFL history have done that. He's got a really strong offensive line, though, so this could be a huge year for DeAndre Swift. He's got issues staying healthy. He missed 3 games as a rookie. He missed 4 games in 2021. So I don't know, man. I don't really have an opinion on DeAndre Swift. It's probably more likely that the Lions' offensive line is a big contributing factor to Swift putting up some decent yards versus Swift being, actually legit. So for me, we'll see. DeAndre Swift is a guy that the Eagles have to account for on Sunday because he can hurt you in multiple ways, just like Amon St. Brown. So Swift for me. What about you?
All right, Eric, how about you? Who's a guy that you're keeping your eye on for the Lions offense?
Well, you teed it right up for me. I had 2 choices in mind. You took one of them in Swift, so I guess I'll just take Hawkinson.
Oh, here we go. Big year.
But yeah, I look forward to, the Eagles have been plagued, it seems like my entire life, with tight ends just burning them time and time again. I'm curious if TJ Hawkinson is going to continue that trend or if the Eagles have finally figured that out.
Yeah. I talked about Hawkinson a little bit with Chauncey Gardner Johnson. I really do think that's a huge addition of that move that they're going to be able to put him on tight ends. But I'm going to go with, I've got 2. I guess technically 3 if you pair the offensive tackles. I'm really just interested to see Hassan Reddick rushing against these offensive tackles. Penei Sewell I had rated very highly. Taylor Decker is a quality starting left tackle, so I'm interested to see the shiny new toy on the defense rushing against them. But my real answer is DJ Shark. Acquired from the Jags, which I did not like that move for the Jags, letting him go. But Shark hasn't had a great NFL career. He's been plagued by injuries and things, but at the end of the day, he ran a 4.34 40. Like, he's flying, he's blazing fast, and he's 6'4". What has Darius Slay had trouble with in his career? Big-bodied receivers and guys that just have those elite physical tools. Look at what DK Metcalf did to him 2 years ago. And so that is some horrific pocket presence there from Jalen Hurts, and then sliding short of the sticks on
why are you
third down.
sliding, bringing up 4th down?
But I'm in, and you have, James Bradbury, who is more of a physical corner than Darius Slay, who's more of a technical player. So are they gonna, do they shadow a guy like DJ Shark with James Bradbury? There's a lot of interesting schematic things that I really want to see how Gannon approaches in this game. That's some of the biggest intrigue for me. But DJ Shark is a guy that, I could see him going off for a 150-yard game and then disappearing for the rest of the year. And, he has half his receiving yards against the Eagles. That could happen. So that's the guy that I'm interested in watching. He's kind of my X factor for their offense.
For sure.
All right, let's roll on here. Who is the biggest X factor for the Eagles in week 1? Eric, I'll let you lead this one off.
Well, you know what? I will avoid the easy answer with Jalen Hurts, even though he could easily be the answer every week to that question. But I will go with their running game. They were the number 1 rushing team last year without really a lead back. So I'll go Kenny Gainwell on this one. I would like it to see what he does. Like, I would like to see, can he be a feature back, especially if Miles Sanders isn't gone. I know Miles isn't going to get much love on this show from you, Deebs. But I'm interested to see, in particular, Kenny Gainwell. I like what he does, the versatility, the running the ball and catching the ball out of the backfield. So I'll say Kenny Gainwell.
All right, that's interesting, especially with Miles Sanders right now questionable. So, I don't know. Is Sanders going to play? If he does play, how long? And the Eagles are sitting here. They did go claim Trey Sermon, who I'm really interested in because, he was an OU guy before he transferred to Ohio State. And so I got to give some love to my OU guys. But I think he's a good fit for what we need as Jalen Hurts rolls out into a sack fumble there.
Are we gonna get
no.
And we are now at 2nd and 28 on the 2-yard line. This is the exact kind of game that I'm terrified of happening on week 1. But I will say that's not on Madden Jalen Hurts. He was doing a blind bootleg right into Aiden Hutchinson there. So that's got to be on Jordan Mailata just a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go to a couple comments here. We got Jock Talk says, how is everybody? We're great. We're pumped about week 1. Hoping Jalen Hurts doesn't take a sack here. He does not. Is there a poll? I got this game ending in a tie and the in real life game ending in a blowout by 250 rushing yards. Yeah, maybe. You guys can drop your Madden and real life game predictions in here in the chat if you would like. We'll take a peek at those as we go. But Dibes, was Kenny Gainwell your answer?
Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that.
That's so funny. Yeah, like you said, Miles Sanders is out. Oh my God, not the best Jalen Hurts game, not the best offensive line game for the Eagles right now. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess.
If I see a 4th and 30 on the 1-yard line, I swear.
Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, for me it's Kenny Gainwell. I expect a lot of targets, check downs to Kenny Gainwell for like 5-10 yards. I think you could legit get like anywhere from 8 to 12 touches on Sunday, given what we're looking at. I could easily see him, get into that second level. Nice by special teams there. So for me, I'm going like my man Eric, Kenny Gainwell. I think could be an interesting fantasy play in week 1.
For me, I'm going to go with Dallas Goddard.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Lions,
Yeah, it's
the
a mess.
Lions linebackers are just atrocious. I don't know who stops Goddard unless it's Jalen Hurts. Honestly,
Yeah.
like they don't have anybody that can cover Dallas Goddard. Dallas Goddard should have a big game. If you told me like you got to pick one guy to have 100 yards receiving, it's Goddard for me. And he's not going to hit, a 70-yard bomb like Quez Watkins might. And he's probably not, he's not going to burn guys like Devonta Smith might. But Dallas Goddard should get a heavy target share in this game. Outbreakers, particularly because I think you're going to see a lot of trips formations with running smash concepts to the outside, and you're going to see that tagged with A.J. Brown on backside dig routes and slant routes over the middle of the field. I think that's what you're going to see a lot from the offense. Interception here in our Madden simulation.
Let's go.
That's
There we
Anthony
go.
Harris, who has not been removed from the Eagles roster. The biggest play of the game. Oh, no, I guess the Josh Sweat touchdown was the biggest play. But the second biggest play of the game came from a player who is no longer on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I missed that one when I was doing my roster setups. But see, I think Dallas Goddard is going to be a huge part of this offense on Sunday. So he is my X factor.
So I
Jock
tried
Talk
to
chimes in with a question here. Wants to know who scores the first touch. Are you asking which team or like which player for the Eagles scores the first touchdown? Which one are you looking for there? If you'll drop that in the chat, I'll put it to these guys.
Sounds good.
All right. So
if this is the way Sunday goes, there's going to be a lot of Jack Daniels flowing Sunday afternoon, man. This is gonna be tough. This will be
I'm
tough.
going to be very angry on the post game show.
Yeah, I'll just skip to the hard liquor at the bar if we're watching my 500th game.
Yeah.
So
I may not
I'm
make it to 501.
I'm going to go ahead and interpret this question my way. Who scores the Eagles' first touchdown? Okay, yeah, that's what he wanted. The first Eagles touchdown. Who scores it?
I'm going to go Dallas Goddard in the middle of the field, like on a post route, like for 10 yards. I think, like you said, there's no one on the Detroit Lions in their secondary that should be able to match up with Dallas Goddard. And, I fully agree. So Dallas Goddard in the middle area of the field, that's an area that Jalen Hurts needs to take that next step. What a week one victory would be for the Eagles to not only get the W, but Jalen Hurts show that he's building chemistry, more and more chemistry with Goddard in that intermediate area of the field. That would be terrific.
Yeah. Eric, what about you? Who scores the Eagles' first touchdown?
Yeah, I gotta echo that sentiment. This has got to be a Goddard time to shine. Like, you talked about how the matchup there with the Lions is really a matchup he should be able to exploit, and in particular in the middle of the field. And to me, that's going to be a big sign. If Jalen's able to do that and exploit that mismatch in the middle of the field, that's going to show you, I think, a lot of what you wanted to see as far as Jalen throughout the season and how he's progressed, really from year one as a starter to year two. So I'll say Dallas Goddard as well. And what I'd love to see is opening drive. They just go down the field, just taking, just working it down the field, balance, run, pass, and then like a nice little 7-yard touchdown pass to Goddard.
And let me just add to that, not only is the Lions' defensive backfield horrific, the Lions don't have any linebackers either. I don't know what the Lions can do, especially when when you consider the gravity of an A.J. Brown, the gravity of a Devonte Smith in the slot going against, the CB2s of the world for the Detroit Lions. I don't see how that's going to completely open up the middle of the field for Dallas Goddard. So that's an easy pick for me.
Yeah. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. I think he's just a good red zone threat. He's got that chemistry with Hurts. I could see them, intentionally targeting him in the back of the end zone, especially early in that game. So I'll say A.J. Brown gets the Eagles' first touchdown just to avoid the three-peat there.
Yeah,
this is fun. We should do more prop bets. We should do prop bets. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Also,
I'm
I could
definitely
start
going to
pulling
be
some
placing a prop bet
lines.
on Goddard scoring a touchdown on Sunday.
All right. Love it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap it up here with player of the game predictions and score predictions. We'll do player of the game prediction first. Eric, who's your call for the Eagles player of the game?
Speaking of,
I will go Kenny Gainwell. I said he was going to be my X factor, so I'll just I'll ride with him as player of the game. I think he has a big day. I think he has over 100 total yards.
That's a good one.
All right, Gainwell for player of the game from Eric Dibes. What say you?
It's Dallas Goddard. Sorry to kind of be boring, but it's. I tweeted it out early this morning. That's my gut vibe right now. And
Grant Calcaterra just got a fullback dive carry because the Eagles don't have a fullback. And
I'll take Calcaterra then as my foot.
By the way,
Calcaterra's first touch is a fullback dive for a 1-yard touchdown.
And he literally starts his dive like 1 yard into the end zone. Gotta love Madden. Yeah, it's got to be Dallas Goddard. Like, I'm expecting at least 6 to 8 catches, like 120 yards, a touchdown. I could see him really going off this week. And I am a little biased. I may or may not have him on my fantasy football team. But I think Goddard, the stars are aligned. This is the game where, I mean, like we said, they're linebackers, they're safeties, they're cornerbacks. They aren't good. So if he's not wide open, we've got bigger problems to talk about.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. If Goddard has a big game, Jalen Hurts had a good game too. So you get that quarterback bias in there, but I feel like if the Eagles have a good offensive game, Jalen Hurts probably ends up getting the credit for that. Jock Talk says, does Miles have more TDs in week 1 than all of last year? And it would just take one to do
That's
that.
if he plays.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I don't. He's questionable to play, so I doubt. I don't know that he gets out there.
How about this X factor? Like, is there any injury update on Jason Kelce right now?
I haven't heard anything.
So, talk about a rookie getting his first NFL experience starting from week 1, and that would be Cam Jurgens. Like, talk about, when you talk about like X factors, guys that are kind of under the radar, important to this team. Cam Jurgens, that could be an interesting storyline.
Yeah, it says he has returned to practice, so he's probably playing.
Nice.
Good. Jason Kelce returns to practice. Miles Sanders still out.
All right. Yeah.
So Miles Sanders was jogging down the sideline and got hurt, and he's still out. Jason Kelce had surgery, and he's expected to be back in there.
That's because Jason Kelce is a freaking beast.
And apparently a very good scout, by the way. So
yeah, when he's done playing, he should just go right into scouting. I mentioned they already have the office prepared for him.
Yeah. All right, let's roll out our score predictions. Eric, why don't you lead us off here? Call your shot. What's the final score going to be on Sunday?
I do think it's going to be a little sloppy. I think it's going to be one of those games where you start sluggish and you're feeling nervous, and all of a sudden you look up in the third, fourth quarter, and it's like, oh wow, we won this game by like 20 points. So I'll say 30-10, but like a good portion of that 30 coming in the second half.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Eric said 30-10. The score I had written down was 31-10. And I'm not changing it. I'm saying 31-10. I've got 1 point more faith in the Eagles than Eric does.
I've watched 500 games in a row. I've seen this team do some things.
I'm saying 24-20. I don't think it's going to be that easy. And I agree with that. Like as a longtime Eagles fan, when the stars are aligning and everything points in the favor of the Eagles, it makes me nervous, man. It makes me nervous. Again, the Eagles did a very good job taking care of business against lesser teams last year. So you got to give them benefit of the doubt. The vibe of this team is a very mature kind of team, if that makes sense. Like, will they take care of business against the Lions? Pretty likely. Again, and I fully agree. I don't see how the Lions, keep this Eagles offense under 30, but I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go Eagles 24-20. I think, like you said, Eric, it's going to be a sloppy game in that first half. Penalties, maybe a fumble here or there, all that kind of stuff. But I expect the Eagles' offensive line to take over in the second half. And that's where, like you said, probably the Eagles will probably outscore them pretty nicely. So they could probably maybe even be down in that first half.
Oh yeah, I could easily see them being like down 10-7 at halftime or
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like my gut feeling right now.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we have 3 minutes left here in our Madden simulation. The Eagles are winning 14-7, and the Lions
Come
are
on,
driving.
defense.
Big 3rd and 7 here, and Jared Goff is going to sail it right over the head of a wide open guy, as he tends to do. So big 4th and 7 here.
2:53. Would you go? Well, they only have. Do they have one timeout, or is that all of them?
They've got all 3 timeouts.
They got all. Okay, yeah, they got all 3. Gosh, I would say where are they at on the field? I might be tempted to try the field goal and then play defense.
I would 100% go for it, because a field goal doesn't get you anything here. You'd still need a touchdown when you get the ball back.
Yeah, but then it's the touchdown to win. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think I agree with you on going for it. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Got it. All right. 14-10. 14. How many snaps do you think Jordan Davis gets in week 1? What's your gut feeling there?
I feel like he plays like 40-ish% of the snaps.
I would take that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in that neighborhood of 40%.
I'm okay with that. Frank Ragnall versus Jordan Davis. I talked about that in my matchup. That's a great matchup if we get to see it on Sunday. A young bull going up against one of the league's best centers. Frank Ragnall is one of the best storylines for the Detroit Lions over the last couple years. He's really kind of made himself into a solid player. So I would love to see Jordan Davis literally push him into the backfield a few times. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch him play. I mean, we saw what looked like him commanding a ton of presence in that first preseason game early on, and it's preseason and all that, but I'm excited to see him in a real game situation. So Jock Talk chimed in here. His official prediction is Eagles 27, Lions 13. Says Mailata versus Hutchinson is going to be a great matchup to watch.
I can't wait. Yeah. That's the one, Jock Talk. That's the one, man. That's going to be so fun. There we go.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. There we go.
There we go.
I was a little surprised Detroit didn't try to take their timeouts there in front of the 2-minute warning. But it's Madden, and so they're just going to do what the computer says to do. But if that's a human, that's me. I'm calling my timeouts in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I don't think the AI calls timeouts before the 2-minute warning in Madden.
Yeah.
So there's 1:57 left here. The Eagles essentially need to pick up a first down to seal the game here.
So Big V is not the only familiar face against the Eagles on Sunday. Can you name the other familiar face?
Oh.
So former Eagles player that plays for the Lions now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes or no? I want to see your response first.
Well, I mean, if it's the other way around, the Darius Slay.
No. Well, that's not who I was thinking.
Okay.
Any guesses?
No. I'm not sure.
Former Eagle Deuce Staley is on the Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
He's the coach assistant and still running backs coach for the Detroit Lions. So that's going to be great to see him on the sideline.
Did you watch Hard Knocks this year on the Lions?
I have not. Is he in it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I had to. Well, I figured, a good scouting report of the Lions. Watch them on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And plus, it was just an excuse to watch some football stuff. Yeah, just run for that first down. Oh,
he slid before the first down marker.
Are you kidding me? You got to lay out and win the game.
All right, so 4th and 1. Now the real question is, in real life, 4th and 1, the opponent's 45. Are you going for it in this situation?
Absolutely.
I got to trust my number one unit.
QB sneak. Oh, they're punting.
Yeah, 4th and 1. I'm lining up and QB sneak. I'm no huddling in Q. Oh, he roughed the punter. Did you see that?
No.
Did they call it?
They didn't call it.
No.
He dove in and took out the punter's legs. So a minute 40, no timeouts. Can Jared Goff drive 85 yards to break the Eagles' hearts in week 1?
Jock Talk says Big V got put on IR.
Yeah.
27-6, Philly winning, Cowboys lost, man. Ah, let's
Cowboys
go.
play Sunday night against Tampa.
That's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
I kind of feel like Tampa's gonna take them behind the woodshed.
Get them.
Well, that'll be a fun day for us.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be quite. I mean that was the kickoff game last year, wasn't it? Thursday night.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy game. They combined for like 110 passes or something. It was ridiculous.
Wow. Shane, do we have access to the stats after this?
I wrote down some of the key stats.
Okay, cool.
So I edited out the stats at the end, but I wrote down some of the key stats.
Good
and
tackle.
I can get the full stats later. I think I've still got the normal video file.
All right, cool. All right. They're 9.
I love how they're huddling at the 33.
I know, I was thinking that.
Clock running.
It's like, how are they not lining up and spiking that?
I feel like Hassan Reddick had a really good game. Oh, did he catch that? Was that incomplete?
Hawkinson to the 44. So 44-yard
Oh.
line, 14 seconds left. Do you guys remember the game when Kirk Cousins was playing against the Eagles and they ran up at the end of the half to spike the ball and he knelt it instead?
Yes. That
Yes.
was the greatest.
I was
Oh,
at that
God.
game. That was hilarious. They basically just said no thanks to 3 points. They're like, nah, we good.
Oh!
All right, the Hail Mary to the end zone?
Knock it down.
The Hail Mary to the 20-yard line? All right, 7 seconds left. Likely the last play of the game. I'm going to go ahead and say I feel pretty confident about this one. If there's one thing Jonathan Gannon's defense can do, it's not give up 45-yard touchdown passes.
That's true. That is true. Man, Jared Goff has a noodle arm.
Yeah, right?
I went
Jared
like
Goff is dropping back like 12 yards and then throwing it out of bounds.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay,
there's
one
still
more.
2 seconds left.
All right.
So this is the last play of the game.
1-0, boys.
Penalty.
1-0 is on. We're coming. We're coming.
So,
By the way, if
what,
they win
does
this,
our
game,
Madden
man.
record or our in real life record end up being better?
It'd be fun. All right.
I love how he just like waits until he's getting hit to throw it. Oh, tipped up into the air, and that is it. The Eagles will
1-0.
emerge victorious, 1-0. They win by a score of 14-10. I'll throw you some of the key stats here before we get out of here from this game.
By the way, Madden, great game, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just
Always
Yeah.
right.
realistic.
Very accurate.
Yes.
Always right.
Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts was 13 of 17 passing in this game for 90 yards. He also had 6 carries for 52 yards with a fumble.
Oof.
Miles Sanders had 12 carries for 47 yards and a fumble. He had 6 receptions for 31
Now,
yards.
Sounds realistic.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders with a fumble.
Grant Calcaterra, the standout, had 1 carry for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. Oh, we're starting to replay here. We don't need to do that. Dallas Goddard had 4 receptions for 50 yards. Devonte Smith, 1 reception for 6 yards. And A.J. Brown was held without a catch in this game.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
I will
The sky would
predict
be
you will
falling.
have the over on receptions if we put it at a half.
Yeah. Kazir White had 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. TJ Edwards, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. And I think Hassan Reddick was the player of the game. He had 2 tackles for loss and 2 sacks in the game. So, and then on the flip side, Jared Goff was 26 for 38 for 208 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
The sky would be falling about the Eagles' offense that night.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah, for sure. If the Eagles only put up 14 points and 7 of them are on a defensive touchdown, we're going to have some major problems. But
Yeah,
That
watch
was
out for
it.
falling objects off the Benjamin Franklin Bridge.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the Madden watch party, the breakdown of the game. We're trying to have some fun, try out some new creative things here. So we're open to feedback always. So let us know what you guys thought. Those of you that joined here in the comments, we really do appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll be here every Tuesday night throughout the season at 8 o'clock Eastern time, breaking down, reacting to the Eagles' last game, talking about the next one. We're looking forward to having a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. So before we get out of here, Eric, why don't you plug your stuff? Tell the people where they can find you.
Well, follow me on Twitter at EricWard81580, but also on the Philly Sports Alliance. Excuse me, easy for me to say. But I just do a show on there, the Football Smack Talk Show, with my co-host Ryan, who is now officially the second best co-host on this network. You guys. And as he bailed out on me, but I'm here in his stead, so you're welcome, everybody.
All right. Be sure you follow Philly Sports Alliance, follow Eric and all of his content that he does with our second favorite co-host here, Ryan. Dives, plug your stuff. Tell the people where they can find you.
Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. I've already got my top matchups to watch video. I dropped that Sunday. You can go check that out anywhere, whether it's Philly Sports Alliance or on our channel or Edge of Philly Sports. On Thursday night at 9 o'clock East Coast time, we'll have the Pride podcast, which is a Detroit Lions podcast. Join Party on Broad. Me and Rob will be breaking down, going into enemy territory, learning about the ins and outs of the Detroit Lions. Should the Eagles, be scared? Should Eagles fans be confident? We're going to be talking about all this stuff again with a little bit more of an intimate look into the Detroit Lions. So that will be on Thursday night.
All right. Be sure you give that a follow, a listen as well. I know that'll be great content.
I'm sorry, I just forgot to mention this Sunday, right before the Eagles game, 11:30, doing a podcast for the Philly Sports Alliance, myself and Ryan, along with some of the other co-hosts from the other shows there, for my 500th straight game. And it's just check it out, Eric's 500th game celebration at the Italian American Club in Wayne. Come on down if you're in the area, and check us out. Have some fun. Watch some football.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. Be sure you guys check that out. As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. Immediately after this podcast, if you're following along with my Madden franchise series, I'm going to be going live with a Week 4 game against the Patriots with my Packers franchise. So that'll live stream to my Twitch, twitch.tv/halfandhalf, but I'll have the edited video up on YouTube tomorrow. And then immediately after that, I'm going live with the first Chalk Talk of the year, previewing all of the Week 1 matchups. If you haven't checked out Chalk Talk, if you want to know what's going on in the rest of the NFL, come check that out. Come hang out in the chat. Bring your questions, and I'm going to go through each of the games and give some predictions and picks there. So that's all for me. So for me, from Dibes, from Eric, Philly Sports Alliance, from the Painted Lines, we will catch you guys next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock to break down an Eagles victory over the Lions and get ready for Week 2. We'll catch you guys next time.
Go Birds!
Go Birds!